Welcome to chain cleaning. You will need 4 things: some general bike cleaning fluid, a chain cleaner, some foam and a chain brush. First step, get your hose and dampen the bike. There we go, left and right, front and back. There we go. Now focus on the chain and the drive chain. There you go. So here is your chain cleaning device. Put the lid on like that. Snap the I don't even know what they're called, on the top there, and then put some cleaning fluid. See a little line? That's the maximum amount you need. Don't waste it. Tip it in the little holes. Look, oh, I spilled some. Tip it in the holes. You should have it at the level, the little indicator line there. Oh, look, there it is. And now you want to spin it. I generally go for about 30 revolutions here with your pedals. Give it a little shake up and down so you can shake that cleaning liquid around, make sure it gets on the chain. Normally give it a good count for about 30 spins there with the cranks, and when that's done we can take the lid off, unclip it, take the lid off, and then the fluid that's left, don't waste it, tip it on the cassette. And you can use that in a moment with your brush. So we now have the brush, put a little bit of fluid on there to help it get all that filth off that cassette, and then we go back, spinning it backwards again. So we have our brush on our cassette, getting rid of all that filth. Keep spinning, keep spinning. This video could take a while. Keep spinning, put the brush underneath, go from a different direction, and then go at the front. There we go, let go against the direction that the chain's going, so you can get those that brush inside. Go for the chain ring as well, get some of that filth off the chain ring. I think the cameraman lost me for a moment, but then you want to go for your derailleur. There we go. You want to get all that filth off there. Look at that build up. Oh, filthy. There we go. So we're getting our jockey wheels a bit cleaner than they were. Stick the brush on, get some of that filth off, keep going, spinning. There we go. And then we're going to go a little bit more on the top of the chain and a bit on the inside of the chain as well. So you cover both sides. Look at that. Spinning it, cleaning it, de-filthing it. So the hose comes back, and now we give it a good spray. That should get the majority of it off. And that takes us to the next step, which is the really exciting shaving foam. Here we go. We put it on the inside of the chain, give it a few, make sure it covers the whole chain. And then we'll move onto the cassette, and you can work your way up on that cassette. Look at that, it's beautiful. There's that foam building up. And at this point, you give it a dance, because you need to wait for the foam to do its thing. Hey ho. And then you go back after a few minutes, and you can get that brush, and you can work that foam into that chain, degreasing it, getting it much cleaner. So that's the inside of the chain done, and now I'm doing the outside. Keep spinning it. Keep pressure on that brush. You can work that foam into that chain. Also, look, you're doing the chain ring as well whilst you're there. Nice and clean. And then we go for the cassette. So have your brush at an angle so it can get in between each of those sprockets in the cassette. And then do the same. You work it into those jockey wheels. Get them nice and clean. Look at that, working that foam into that cassette. You can use the teeth of the brush as well to get in between, to get out any debris that's still in there. Can get a bit stuck, but use the brush for the tighter sprockets there. Go back onto the jockey wheels, bit more on the chain. Can never be thorough enough. Back comes the hose. Now we're going to get all that filth off. Get rid of all the foam. And there we go, nice and clean. And the next step is to stop any rust. So get an old rag, dry off as much moisture as you can, give it a few spins, and then a bit of GT85. Spray that on the inside of the chain, keep it away from your discs, your disc brakes. Because I'm going to put it on the cassette here and I'm aiming it parallel with it so it doesn't spray onto the discs. And this displaces any water that is still on the chain and cassette. And then I want to remove that. So I've got a cloth, removing it. Look at that. And then the final step is your trusty lube. Put that on the inside of the chain. Make sure you get at least a complete revolution of the chain. That's probably about 3, and then a little bit on the cassette for a good measure. And there we go. And that means you will not get rust on your chain, and it will last a lot longer than the last one did.